How about we talk about the school? Some people called it the Monument on the Hill. Did they still call it that when you were going to school there, Don? 12 grades all in one school
Yeah.
building? Uh-huh.
First grade through 12th grade.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't think much about it at that time until I got a job in a big school.
There weren't many teachers because there were so few
Well,
students.
you had one teacher for 2 grades.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
had Miss Duffy for first and second grade. Oh, I had Mrs. Chris and I did not get along. She, girls were her pets. She didn't
Uh-huh.
like boys very, and especially me.
Uh-huh.
I did not get to sit with the class, but I had my own seat over at a table
Oh, dear.
because I wouldn't shut up. You know that now. Anyway, there was a little aquarium in front of me with fish, so I played with the fish and ignored what was going on.
Sure. How about Mr. Grace?
Even though he was tough and everybody thought he was mean, he was a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I went to college, I was still remembering things that I learned in his class to help me through college.
Mm-hmm.
He made sure you learned something.
Mm-hmm.
You said you played basketball, right?
Well, if you want to call it that, yes.
Tell us about the gym in the old school.
Well, the gym was, if you want to call it that. When I was a little kid, I thought it was big. But when I got into high school and we went to play other schools, I found out ours was like a midget or something. The ceiling was maybe 12 or 13 feet high, and you could not shoot long shots. You had to be pretty close to the basket, otherwise you'd hit the ceiling, which you lost the ball. It's like throwing it out of bounds. The walls were out of bounds. And if there was a big crowd there, usually from some other school, they would be like 2, 3 deep along. Well, the more people there, the smaller the floor got. So you could go down the floor, you're running into people. The stage had seats on it, not very many, because the stage wasn't very big. But our gym was kind of riot. At that time, there were no showers, no dressing rooms. You had to dress the home team dressed in the first and second grade room, and the visitors dressed in the third and fourth grade room. And I think later in high school we did get indoor restroom. Before that, you went outside or gritted your teeth, one or the other. Anyway, they put inside, but you could, for the boys' restroom, you had to go outside to go inside. You couldn't go through the inside. Girls could go inside. Boys had to go outside and go inside. And I don't remember whether we ever had showers in there or not. But the other teams did not like coming to play at Powell. I don't blame them. It was more of something to laugh at than to enjoy. There were other places I saw were worse. My freshman year, we played over at New California. You know where New California is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, their gym was, I'm not sure it was an old barn or a church, but it was not originally a gym. It had wide boards on the floor, and they were even worse than us at keeping score. They did it with a chalkboard. We had fancy numbers that we hooked over things, made in the shop. But the New California, the out of bounds line went down, and then there was a furnace, so it went around the furnace. So if you were down in that corner and somebody threw a hip in you, you got shoved into a furnace. But I always thought that was amusing. Someone should make a joke about someone being hot on that floor. Anyway, there were some strange things back in the 30s and 40s that suddenly disappeared when things got fancy and areas got money and new people moved in. They didn't like what it was, and we're going to change all this.
Yeah. And when you were at school, I know you were involved in band, in chorus, basketball. Were there other sports?
Yeah, I played baseball. We had a very good baseball team. Our basketball team we had a perfect record when I was a senior. Did not win a game. Baseball was different. We played baseball twice a year. Most of all the schools in Delaware County were township schools, small schools, so they couldn't play football. Did not have enough people to play football, so we played baseball in the fall and the spring both, so you could win a county championship twice. There was a lot of interesting baseball diamonds in Delaware County because they seemed to stick them any place. Powell had a pretty good one.
Behind the school, right?
Yes. Bell Point, I asked people about Bell Point, they never heard of Bell Point. Well, there was a school at Bell Point, and the first game I played in was at Bell Point, and the first time at bat I had a line drive over the fence for a single. Now that sounds pretty stupid, that I'm a very slow runner, which is the opposite. But the fence was right behind the third baseman and ran off at an angle, so the left fielder was on the other side of the fence. The center fielder was on, and the right fielder was on inside the fence. But in Orange, their baseball diamond was slanted a little bit, and so we had interesting ball diamonds around the county. They just seemed to stick them wherever they could find an empty space.